All right, what's up? Brent here. I'm the jazz musician behind LearnJazzStandards.com. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a really awesome exercise that you can do to use the melody of a jazz standard or a song and use it to develop and create an awesome solo. Now, I often get emails from my subscribers, whether they're listeners of the podcast or our blog, and they're asking me questions about what scale do I play over this chord or this chord progression, different tips for how to improvise over things. And while those aren't bad questions, those are fine questions to ask and there's a place for those, sometimes I think to myself, well, if you're really just not sure what to improvise over or how to improvise, the best place to start with is the melody of the song that you're playing. Now think about a blues for a second, a 12-bar blues. What makes every blues different from each other? I mean, there are hundreds of them, right? There's hundreds of them, and sometimes there's different arrangement or maybe there's some different chord progressions in there, but in general, they're pretty similar. But what makes all of them different is the melody. So if you think about it, what should you be doing in your solos to make sure that you can stay true to that song? Well, you should be referencing the melody. You should be giving tribute to that melody in your solos. And a musician who does this really, really well is jazz guitarist Peter Bernstein. Check him out. He does this all the time, uses the melody in his solos masterfully. Like, he's a master at doing this. And so we can do this too. So I have a really cool exercise for you, and I'll go over it really quick before I get on my guitar and show you what I'm talking about. Essentially, you take a jazz standard, and the first time you play through this standard, you're just going to play the melody through the entire form. Straight, just the melody. Now, the second time you go through the chorus, you're going to embellish the melody, meaning that you're still playing the melody, but you might play around with it a little bit. You might interpret it a little bit different. Maybe stray from it a little bit, but come right back home, make sure you're still playing the melody. Now, the third time you go through the chorus, you're going to reference the melody. And so you're going to actually be full on improvising. But if someone were to come into the room, and assuming they know the song that you're playing, they would be able to tell what song you're playing just because sometimes you're throwing in elements or snippets of the melody into your solo. Now this is a lot easier said than done, this exercise. So I'm going to show you it right now on my guitar. Well, let's do this. All right, so I'm here behind my computer right now, and I've actually pre-recorded myself doing this exercise because I want to show you the notation of my improvised solo. So as you can see on the screen, I have notated out my improvised solo, and I'm going to use the jazz standard Blue Bossa for today's example. And the reason I'm picking Blue Bossa is it's a little bit of a shorter form, so it's a little bit easier for teachable reasons to do that. And then also it has a very strong, basic, straightforward melody that it's going to be pretty clear of how I'm separating out those three sections, which again are playing the melody straight, then embellishing the melody, and then the third chorus referencing that melody. So I'm going to go ahead, let's play this recording, let's follow along with the music just so you can see what's going on here. Okay, here's the melody. Okay, here we go. Chorus number 2, going to embellish it. Okay, here we go. Chorus 3, referencing the melody. Okay, cool. That was it. That was it. I played a little tag at the end there that was not in the notation. But, so again, the first chorus, I just played through the melody of Blue Bossa, pretty straightforward.
Second chorus, I embellished the melody so you could still hear. And if I were to give any critique of what I just did there, I could probably critique a lot of it. But if the main critique I would have of what I played was that I probably over embellished the melody. Like I probably should have stayed a little closer to the melody. So I may have over embellished. But, you know, at the end of the day, clearly I was still outlining the melody, still playing the melody, and that was still very much present. I was just playing around it a little bit. And then over here in the third chorus, I was referencing the melody. So I was improvising fully over top of it, but you could hear me go back to it and play that melody and reference it so that someone could have walked into the room and known that I was playing blue bossa. Okay, so that is the exercise. It's a great exercise, and trust me, it's a lot easier said than done. But that's why it's such a great practice to box yourself into these sets of rules so that you can practice, you know, and, you know, practicing, I've said this before, is like the laboratory. You know, you can take things, chop it up, slow things down, manipulate it. You know, that's the luxury we have of being in the practice room versus out on a gig. So take full advantage of it. So that is the exercise. Go ahead and try this yourself.
All right, so this is an excellent exercise to work on. So here's my challenge for you, and I want you to answer this in the comments below today. What song are you going to do this exercise on this week? Leave it in the comment section below. Now, this is actually a lesson from our new ebook and our new companion course called the Jazz Standards Playbook, which is a study of 10 jazz standards, in-depth study of songs that really will help you learn all the other songs and have really valuable lessons in them. And there's also improv lessons in them, and this comes from one of the improv lessons. So if you're interested in this book and checking out this and taking things to the next level here, go to thejazzstandardsplaybook.com. All right, now as I always say, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, make sure you like our Facebook page, and always be sure to join our jazz community, our newsletter at learnjazzstandards.com/join. All right, I'm Brent, I'm signing off. I'm gonna see you in the next video.